So a George Floyd juror alive for change. So all this ties in with the other jurors that were scared that people would come to their asses, and those that had to travel through the riots every day just to go to the courtroom for the trial.
Because the reason at that time was, obviously I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So I felt like either way the outcome was, you're going to disappoint one group or the other. So I didn't want to go through this whole rioting and destruction again, and, you know, a little concerned about people outside my house if they weren't happy with the verdict.
Right.
Other jurors came out and said that they had to convict, otherwise they were going to see everything burn. Everything burn. Yeah. With Maxine Waters' threats, Biden's call for the right outcome at the trial, and Kamala raising bailout funds for rioters, and the city paying out $27 million, baby, to the family of George Floyd before the trial had even finished. And then we have this guy. So juror number 52, Brandon Mitchell, lied to be on the jury as he says to affect political change. Sounds fair and balanced, don't you think? Kind of guy you want on the jury defending your outcome. Oh, and let me also say that none of the mainstream media are talking about this, even though everyone knew the problems with all of this from the start. Exemplified by the jury taking all of 10 hours to come to the most important decision in decades. No, the jury wasn't influenced by burning cities. No, the most important news story in the country. No, not at all. No, they don't have opinions of their own on the topic, do they? No threats of violence. Shrug it off. Doxing. Don't worry about it. So Brandon Mitchell had a photo come out wearing a shirt that reads, "Get your knee off our neck," and BLM, with a picture of Martin Luther King Jr., I mean, a man they don't even like or agree with nowadays, as he wanted desegregation and peace, not segregation and unpeace. And the knee wasn't on the neck, and BLM just being terrorists. But this t-shirt directly referring to the case that he was subsequently involved in, and also sporting a BLM hat to finish off the ensemble. Now, this photo was posted in August 2020 by the juror's uncle, well before the trial when the topic was at its hottest, and so were the burning buildings. When he was in Washington, D.C., there to attend a Martin Luther King Jr. rally and listen to George Floyd's family speak on racial injustice and police brutality. I mean, appeal, acquittal, mistrial, huh? So just imagine that Derek Chauvin got off with all charges after the trial, and we found out that one or more of the jurors were back to blue. I mean, there'd be outrage, wouldn't there? There'd be rioting and burning and more looting, peaceful looting, mind you, with inquiries and retrials, don't you think? We just recently found out that Joe Biden was going to have the FBI arrest Derek Chauvin after the trial if he wasn't convicted for civil rights charges. So he was going down no matter what way you're looking at it. They were making sure of that. The FBI just being the brute squad of the Democratic Party now, it seems. With Giuliani and vague lookalikes being under threat. Getting done. Do 'em. So Brandon Mitchell also has his own podcast. Well, show me the money. Where he discusses topics of police brutality, racial abuse issues, and black injustices. Where he expresses his own opinions and outrage, commenting even on the up-and-coming George Floyd trial before it was taking place. A motion was put forth to change the location of the trial, so why wasn't it accepted? Huh? And held in fucking Nepal. Because that's the only place he could have probably got a fair trial. We even have him on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell, where he talks about jury duty as a tool for political change.
We're talking to Brandon Mitchell. He was juror number 52 in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Brandon, before we wrap, many people don't like jury duty and probably wouldn't respond to the letter that you get in the mail. So what message would you leave to those about saying yes to jury duty?
I mean, it's important. If we want to see some change, we want to see some things going differently, we got to get out there and get into these avenues and get in these rooms to try to spark some change. And that's jury duty is one of the things. Jury duty, voting, all of those things are things we got to do.
Not understanding that jury duty is not about change, all right? Or activism. It's about justice. blind, fair, justice for all, impartial, reading all the evidence and going through the laws, not a political weapon to be used regardless of the facts. This also means that on March 15, 2021, he lied to the judge when asked about the knowledge of the case, where he said he had basic info about child dates, etc., from the news, but not the sort of thing that would keep him from serving as an impartial juror. I mean, what the right? It's a blatant lie, and we all know it. Isn't that perjury? So Brandon Mitchell also did an interview with the Wall Street Journal, where he also said he decided to go public to help push for change, and spoke of his many negative experiences dealing with law enforcement when he was a young kid. What was he up to, right? Showing that he's part of a political ideology that directly benefits from this trial and outcome, and that this ideology wanted Derek Chauvin to go to prison. And justice folded under the pressure and the threats to burn the city down. Just burn it down. And then come for you.